Well, g'day ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I've got a question for you. What's one word that describes what you see in this picture? Easy. Healthy living. Just kidding, that's 2 words. Now this of course is how you dress up if you're going to a party where the theme is bogan. Some more costume ideas for you. Loose clothes and a guitar if you want to look like a hippie. Man bun and a lumberjack outfit to be the perfect hipster. And of course, glasses with a center parting to transform into the perfect nerd family. Grouping and labeling people, or forming stereotypes, is second nature to us, and it stems from our tendency to socially categorize, as mentioned in a previous lesson. Remember that this is our brain's efficient way of forming an opinion on someone and, simplifying our social world. People are often categorized into groups based on physical appearance, such as gender, race, disabilities, or age, but it can also involve unseen things, such as culture, sexuality, or intelligence. Of course, the problem is that no one person possesses all the characteristics of a particular group, and so stereotypes are bound to be inaccurate. However, stereotypes are hard to get rid of because people tend to see in others what they expect to see. This, of course, inevitably leads to prejudice. One way of understanding why people have and act out on stereotypes is by using the tri-component model of attitudes, suggested by Rosenberg and Hovland in 1960. Its 3 parts conveniently make up A, B, and C, and they are the affective component, the behavioral component, and the cognitive component. Let's see what each of those parts cover using a personal example. My attitude towards bubble tea. The affective component of my attitude towards bubble tea involves my feelings and physiological reaction to it, which I must say is overwhelmingly positive. Bubble tea makes me feel full and happy. The behavioral component involves how I act and what I say, and my drinking and spending habits involving bubble tea clearly express my attitude towards it. Finally, the cognitive component is what I think about bubble tea, whether or not it's right. For example, I've convinced myself that bubble tea is relatively healthy and no different to tea or coffee, which is somehow acceptable as an addiction for everyone else. So just leave me alone with my bubble tea, guys. 3 components that all express my attitude. Now, it's worth quickly mentioning that an attitude doesn't have to involve all 3. For example, when it's time for me to vote, my attitude might be mostly cognitively based and not as much affective. But my attitude towards my favorite shirt might be the opposite, for example. Psychologists prefer to say that attitudes can have up to 3 components. So, what does this have to do with stereotypes? Well, as an attitude, they involve all 3 components, don't they? We'll go in a different order this time, but it might start with the way you've mentally categorized a group of people, making assumptions about them. That's the cognitive part. Your feelings towards that group will then be friendly, or neutral, or even hostile, based on that assumption. And finally, that's all going to affect the way you behave towards them. Now, if you went to a party and saw these 4 groups of people, who are you most likely to go hang out with? Well, it'll probably depend on your stereotypes. For me, it'd probably be the nerds, not because I'm one too. I just assume that they're intelligent, they're good at maths and computers, technical stuff, and I would therefore feel pretty safe around them since they're probably not that interested in me. We'll probably have something in common, which I would enjoy talking about. And so how would I behave? Well, I would smile and start making my way towards that group. All that because I noticed they were wearing glasses. Now, you might have a totally different choice from me, and that's okay because we all have different attitudes and therefore different stereotypes. In the following lessons, we look at the darker side of stereotypes when it leads to prejudice and discrimination, and hopefully see what we can do about it.